This is Suffer Up. How did that sound?
Sounded intense.
Did it?
Yeah.
We're going to open this up for discussion to the listeners. Should we keep the dialogue on the podcast the same and that we just kind of jump into a conversation, or should we come up with some crazy music intro?
Some kind of fancy intro that we use on everyone.
Yeah. Like, is what we're doing, like, is it easy to listen to, or is it boring? Are you tired of hearing our voices? Or at a point where we're like, okay, maybe we should refine some things if we need to, or we just don't care and we just keep doing what we're doing. I don't know what that looks like, but tell us your feedback. This is a test to see if you're listening.
Yeah. Well, we do care. So
I'm kidding.
we want to hear what they say.
Yeah, we do care.
But this is a test. Will you respond?
Will you respond? So,
is anyone there?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of the Suffer Up podcast with Nate and Ryan, where our mission is to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose, striving to level up in life with an emphasis on spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. These are the voices of Nate and Ryan. Before we dive into today's episode, we want to give a special thanks and shout out to our sponsors. First and foremost, Soft Socks. You guys have been with us since the beginning of this. We're thankful for your support. They make a compression-fitting toe sock for your feet. They have the padding in all of the right places. We wear them on all of our long runs, and we are very thankful for their partnership as well as the product that they produce. They are veteran-owned here in the US of A, and we are super thankful for them. If you'd like to get a pair, our discount code for them is SUFFER10, SUFFER10. Also, they are not supporters of the channel. However, they have been great support and help for us in the upcoming race that we are hosting, the Punch-Out Ultra, and that is Fleet Feet of Pensacola. So we're going to give them a shout out. They have run groups on their website. You can check them out. Training for the Double Bridge Run that's coming up here soon in February. And so they do a really good job at creating a nice community for the runners. Yeah. And we're thankful for their help in this matter as we are rookie race directors and trying to navigate this. They have been a huge help and a huge asset. So if you're in the Pensacola area, check them out. They got all the shoes, socks, nutrients, supplements, all that stuff for you. So thank you, Fleet Feet of Pensacola.
Yeah, they even provide and organize the pacers for events like that Double Bridge Run.
Yeah.
So that you've got a pace marker that you can run with if you're trying to achieve a certain finish time, which is pretty cool. I didn't know that they did that until recently.
Yeah. So we're really thankful for them and who they are and their help and kindness to help us out. So yeah, so thank you to our sponsors that support this channel. Also, I just want to give a shout out to a few other people who have supported us in the race. We want to thank, Tab, the alternative board.
Neil, we had him on as a guest early on in the podcast.
Yep, so he is a great guy. If you're in the Pensacola area and you're a businessman or woman, check them out. They do like a collaborative help small businesses through problems, and if you want to learn more about who they are, like Ryan said, we do have an episode.
Yeah, go back and listen to it.
Another one of our supporters, Coastal
Seamless Gutters and Pole Barns.
Yes, a friend of yours. And what do they do?
If you're in the Pensacola area and you need gutters, Tyler with Coastal is the man to go with. They do a great job on your gutters, and if you're looking to put up a pole barn or a pole barn shop, they do those as well. Do excellent work. I can vouch for that. I have one.
Oh, perfect. He did this one.
Yes.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah, he does excellent work.
Good. Another one would be Edward Jones. It's Derek Park, correct?
Derek Park with Edward Jones.
Yep. In Pace. So financial stuff, if you need help there, reach out to him. I'm sure he'd be happy to help you out with that with Edward Jones. All these, if you go on our Instagram or Facebook, you can check out the posts. They are tagged in all the more recent race posts for the Punch-Out Ultra happening February 21st, 2026. Also, another shout out to Clean Eats. They're providing some finisher stuff for us. They are down in Warrington and Pensacola. They provide healthy food, meal prep, meal planning. If you're trying to eat healthy on the go, they will be able to help you with that. So you can check them out as well. And anyone else? I think we got them.
And Soft Socks. Soft Socks is partnering with us on the race as well.
Yeah.
But we know Soft Socks well.
Yes.
We've talked about them.
Yes. We mention them on every episode.
All these people are helping to make the Punch-Out Ultra as epic as it can be, either providing finisher stuff or just contributing to the race in different ways. They are helping to make this an epic event for you guys, for our listeners, for our participants.
Yep. And also, this Punch Out Ultra would not be possible without the venue as well. So
yes,
shout out to the Men's Barn Meeting in Molino, Florida. They have a outreach ministry opportunity there, second Thursday of every month.
Yep.
You get a free steak dinner.
It is good.
Yes, they do a really good job with how many people they feed. The steaks are really quite good.
They typically feed 300 to 500 people.
Yeah, it's
every month.
So if you haven't been, you can check them out. They are tagged all over our socials, but you can also find them on Instagram, Facebook, as well as the internet. Just type in the Men's Barn Meeting. It's a white logo with a red barn. They've got speakers from all over the country that come in.
And space.
Yeah, they had an astronaut recently. So
yeah,
really cool outreach opportunity there to hear the Word of God preached. So we're thankful for them. They are hosting it because they're on several 100 acres of highly managed deer farm property. So they manage trophy whitetails. So yeah, it's really a beautiful piece of land. So
talk about some scenery. Yeah, these giant 12-point bucks running around the course.
Oh yeah. So if you come and do this race with us, you get to run with the deer as you will.
No weapons are allowed on the course. I know you guys want to kill a deer, but not these.
You'd ruin it for everybody in the future. That would be bad.
No making spears. No hidden knives.
Yeah. And so that'll be really good time, February 21st, 2026. You can check it out on ultrasignup.com or go to scroll down on your podcast platform and then click on the hyperlink in the description of this podcast, and it will take you to all of the happenings as well as the race registration there. Make it easy for you. And so, we'll see you out there, guys. So keep running, keep training, and we're really excited to host that race.
All right, dude. That was a lot of announcements.
It was.
What are we talking about today?
Yes, thank you guys for staying with us on all that.
If you fast forwarded it right now, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Go back and listen because it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. We are talking today about consistency and discipline. I know we've talked about this quite a bit in some of our other episodes. However, there are some recent things to kind of reiterate, and I'm going to share vulnerably an area in my life that I have needed to kind of focus on. I am now being coached.
Like to run?
Nope.
No.
Although I should probably get a coach, but I am being coached.
You need a coach, dude. You're slow.
I essentially have a life coach now.
Oh,
yeah. So we've had him on the podcast, Jeremy Vandelinder, the author, co-author of Triumph Over Trauma.
Mm-hmm.
He also has a consulting group called Sophron Consulting.
Yeah.
And
so that's not like business consulting.
Nope.
No. All right.
Strictly, obviously he does like the crisis intervention stuff, and he helps like formulate crisis intervention groups and teams for first responders, military. He's with Texas Task Force. He's on the list of qualified people to help in that area. However, he's wanting to kind of ramp up his consulting business and do more like coaching. So he contacted me and said, "Hey, I need a few more hours in order to like really kick this off. Would you be interested in being coached?" And I said, "Absolutely." So we had our first session last week, and we actually I have another one today. And one of the areas that we were talking, we did this little wheel thing where you rank on a scale from 1 to 10 how well you're doing in these areas of your life. Things such as spouse, marriage, relationships, money, finances, recreation, fun hobbies, physical fitness, parenting. Like there's like maybe 10 categories of areas that you rate 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Well, one of the areas that I gave myself, I think I put a 9 down, was physical fitness and like just wellness.
You can consider yourself a 9?
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you.
I know. I'm going to give it's hard like when you're sitting there and you're like, what do I put for this? Because like I'm not a specimen.
Arnold Schwarzenegger does not necessarily mean like you're a 10.
Right.
Although I would classify him as a 10.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that way without being extremely disciplined and focused on your goals.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you put down a 9. Why? What made you put down a 9 for that?
It's funny you asked that because on the back side of the sheet, I have to explain why. So this is
okay.
really good because I have a coaching call today where I have to explain myself.
All right. Explain.
And so we did this like high level real quick, but he wanted me to do it more formal and open it up a little bit more. So I put a 9 because it's one of the areas of my life that I'm extremely consistent at. I, for the most part, eat the right things. There are times that, Nate still enjoys his bowl of ice cream from time to time, as you should. But overindulgence is obviously not a good thing. So like I'm fairly well rounded in that area. I'm running consistently. I'm lifting 2 to 3 times a week. I'm doing all the things and it's consistent. You can go on my Garmin and all that and see just about every day with the exception of 1 day a week, Nate is doing something physical, which was not the case 3-4 years ago. So it's an area of my life that I grew drastically in, and it just came down to consistency, discipline, not motivation. We've talked about that. Motivation is an emotion. Discipline is the actual act of doing the thing over and over and over again. So that's why I gave myself a 9.
Okay. I'm gonna press you more. Why are you that consistent with exercise?
Because I'm chasing a goal. I think that there's a direct correlation between consistency and goal driven. So I'm the dog that likes a treat. Like, I want to have the treat. And right now I'm chasing goals.
Carrot and the stick. You're a carrot guy.
Yeah.
Not a stick guy.
Right. So I'm looking ahead and like, I want to be able to do this. This is what Nate wants to do. This is what I want to accomplish. I think we both can kind of relate to that. Like we both have a goal to some degree that we're chasing after in this area of our life.
Yeah.
Physically.
I think we've talked about this a little bit on other episodes. I think there was one actually titled Why We Run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like the why behind it is, yes, we're setting these goals, but I mean, I could press you on that. Like, why are you setting that goal?
Yeah.
And it goes way deeper than that. I mean, you could simply say, because I want to. That's a fair statement.
Sure.
Like, because I want to be physically fit. Okay. That's why you are so consistent with working out, because you enjoy it, because you enjoy what being fit really means. And that means that you can play with your kids. That means you can perform well at your job. That means that people look to you when something needs to get done because you look like you're more confident and would be able to take care of something rather than the fat guy sitting over there in the lawn chair.
Right.
So there's a lot of reasons why, but I think that all those kind of play into why you are so consistent about it.
Yeah.
And that consistency being your why for scoring a 9.
Yeah.
Or giving yourself a 9 on that is, it really all boils back down to like why you're doing it in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, our bodies are a temple. That's part of my why is like, God gave me this body. I want to take good care of it and use it. That's why I do. That's why I try.
Yeah.
Sometimes I set goals to help keep me motivated along the way.
Yeah.
But the ultimate consistency and discipline comes from your why at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. No, it's all good. So then, like one would say, why didn't you give yourself a 10 then if you're being consistent? And it's because I know in my head I could be just a little bit better.
I think giving yourself a 10 would be super narcissistic.
Yeah, it would.
Like,
it would.
Because there's always room for improvement, right?
Yeah, there always is. So I left that one number. However, it's one of the highest areas I ranked in my life, according to the wheel. But then the question was kind of posed, kind of flipping the script a little bit. My coach, Jeremy, who said, well, one of the areas that I said that I need to do a little bit better at would be parenting. And because although I'm blessed with my kids and they are turning out to be phenomenal little humans, I'm thankful for their diligence and work and being patient with me as a dad. I think that's one of the areas anybody who's a decent parent can reflect and say, like, have a lot of regret. I should have responded better in this situation. I should have been more patient in this situation. And so it's one of the areas, but it's also one of the areas I take extremely seriously, and I'm way hard on myself. And so he said to me, Nate, I think you need to give yourself a little more credit. Like, you're being hard on yourself because, you think you could be better, and that's great that you want to be better, but you're also, look at all the things that you've done and the way you're progressing from 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
So give yourself a pat on the back. But he kind of alluded to saying, like, why didn't you you have the discipline, like, you showing it physically, and your morning routine is outstanding. Like, I very few people that I coach have the morning routine that you have. When I shared with him what I do every morning, he said, and those micro wins, like you said, are like, that's stellar. And you're literally setting up your day for success. Outstanding. We talked about that in an episode as well. You can go back and find it. Why doesn't it correlate to other areas of your life? And it was slightly rhetorical, but it got me thinking, like, that's a really good point. Why don't I put emphasis on that to be more well-rounded? Like, I'm putting the effort in here. Why am I not putting in the effort, or at least I think I'm putting the effort with my kids?
Yeah. Or maybe you are, and he's right about the grace thing. Maybe you're just not giving yourself enough grace all around. You rank yourself harder on certain areas because you expect more out of yourself in certain areas.
Yeah.
Like with running and stuff, you're like, yeah, I can run 20 miles, whoop-de-doo. But I can't go 7 days without yelling at my kids once.
Yeah.
Like, you're harder on yourself on that point. So maybe you are as consistent with it. I mean, you show up every day that you're with your kids, put them to bed every chance you get. Yeah. Take them to school when you can.
Right.
Sounds like you're disciplined, and consistent.
But then why is it then that we give ourselves, and again, rhetorical, just to kind of provoke the thought for the listener's sake, of why is it then that we give ourselves such a hard time on certain areas, but then areas that are really, at the end of the day, like the physical part of it, and we'll talk about consequences. Like me running every day, if I miss a day, is it really going to hurt me? No, it's not. But I slip up and I say one wrong thing to my child out of anger or haste, that could also, like, they might remember that for the rest of their lives, depending on how I respond to it. So, like, the stakes and the consequences are way higher, you know?
That's fair.
And so like the Bible talks about it, like the tongue is sharper than any two-edged sword. So I say the wrong thing to my child, that could ultimately really hurt them, and now the consequences are greater. So there's more emphasis on it. There's almost an area that is a little bit harder to be perfect at, even though we can't be perfect at anything.
But to even be excellent at.
Yeah.
Because the scale is different. You know, it feels like you're grading 1 to 10, but it's a skewed scale because, like you said, the consequences, the risk is so much higher.
Yeah.
That you're like, man, I have to be near the top, but it's so hard to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that, amongst the wheel, if you will, and I think it's a really good wheel. I will take a picture of the wheel and I'll put it up on our Instagram, because I think it's a really good tool to kind of like look at your life and kind of lay it out on paper to kind of see like where you are.
Yeah.
And so, I think it's a great tool. And so I'll put it up on our Instagram and Facebook so you guys can look at it and kind of do your own wheel. But the biggest trend behind all this is consistency. Like, Rome was not built in a day, so everything takes time and everything takes consistent actions to be better at something. And a lot of that comes down to breaking habits. So the habit, like your morning routine, for instance, if you want to break a bad morning routine habit, starts one day at a time. And when that day's over, start with the next day. And if you fail on that day, that's okay. Pick yourself up and go to the next day and start over again, because every day is a new day. Every week is a new week.
A common theme that keeps coming up in this is the grace aspect of it.
Yeah.
And maybe this episode needs to be titled Consistency and Grace.
Yeah.
Because that's a big part of it. You shared a story earlier with me of a friend of yours that committed to doing something for 30 days.
Oh, yeah. I'll tell that.
And failed on day 3, right?
Yeah.
But what was his response to that? Was the whole 30 days a failure? Like, was he done at that point?
No, not necessarily. I mean, so like slight backstories so our listeners can get caught up. He came to me. We worked together on New Year's Eve. If you know who you are, like, I love you, buddy. I'm not ripping on you, but I'm going to use you as an example. He came to me and was like, I want to get back into fitness, but I just have a hard time like getting out there, getting going and feeling motivated. I can't stand here in motivation because I rarely feel motivated on a lot of things, but again, consistent discipline action. So he said that, and I said, okay, here's your goal. Then if you want to get in shape, start here. 20 minutes of walking every day, 50 push-ups, 50 sit-ups, 50 lunges or squats. And I said, we'll do day 1 together today. He's like, okay. Took us 30 minutes to do that. that little exercise. Wasn't hard. He could not do the 50 consecutive push-ups, which is fine. I said, you break them up however you want. If you can only do 10 at a time, do 10 at a time, but you have to do 50. And he got it done 30 minutes. And I said, okay, do that every day for 30 days, and then come tell me. If you can do that, you have now created a good, solid, foundational habit because you've done it over 30 days. And then you're now starting the momentum of staying consistent.
Yeah. It's not so much about the exercises for 30 days.
Right.
It's creating that time in your schedule and making that time happen every day.
Every day.
That 30 minutes. Because then at the end of this, you're going to go, okay, we're going to do different workouts, but you're still going to take 30 minutes every day. And he's going to be like, all right, I put, like you with running, like I put my shoes on every day and do this thing for 30 minutes. What I do might be different. Maybe it's speed work, maybe it's long run, whatever, but it's consistently
every
carving
day.
out that time and making it happen.
Yep, that's it. And even like for me, I set myself a minimum of 30 minutes of movement every day, with the exception of rest days. But even it's not even really a rest because I might go for a walk with the kids for 30. I'm still moving.
Yeah.
But 30 minutes, sometimes it's an hour, 2, 3, I don't know. It varies. So day 3, I saw him at work. I said, hey buddy, how's your 30 days going? He said, oh man, I didn't do one yesterday because I played, I don't remember what it was, pickleball or something. And I said, oh, okay, well, at least you moved, like, good job. And I said, how about the other couple days? He's like, well, like, it's okay. Like, I'm doing the push-ups and stuff, but I'm getting really sore, so I'm having a hard time completing it. I said, well, how about the walk? And he said, no, I haven't done the walk. I'm like, buddy, it's the easiest one. Like, I don't care if you're on your phone for the 20 minutes. Like, just walk for 20 minutes. But
push a stroller.
Yeah, do something, walk your dog, or walk your cat if you're a cat guy. So, like,
you're a cat guy, just go back to bed.
Yeah, leave the cat at home. Seeing a cat on a leash is just weird.
You're a cat guy, move to California.
Yeah. Anyway, so the cat, cat. I'm all hung up on cats now. But yeah, he was struggling with the walk, and I found that to be the easiest. And here he is doing the push-ups and stuff, and
it is physically the easiest, but it's the thing that takes the longest.
Yeah.
And that's what we were just talking about like it's really more about the time commitment than it is about the workout commitment.
Yeah.
If you told somebody they had to go for a 20-minute walk or deadlift whatever heavy weight 3 times, they would most likely choose that one just to get it over with and be done.
Yeah.
Rather than walk for 20 minutes. Oh, that's going to take forever, blah, blah. I got things to do. Yeah. I mean, everybody's got excuses when it comes to time.
Yep.
It's sad, but that's the discipline that needs to be built.
And I think the beautiful thing too, like everybody, the joke, like Andy Glaze says, your mom can run a 5K, is the time commitment. Like most 5Ks are finished under 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Even if you're a walk runner, like 30 minutes, it's done. But the cool thing about ultra running is the keyword of patience.
Yeah.
And like, I think the reason that people are not successful is because they're not patient. Like they expect to go run for a week straight and then be some phenomenal runner, or, they go to the gym and lift for, 7 days. And then all of a sudden they think that they should be seeing results. Like you literally just primed your body now to get ready to grow. Like a month's worth of work, you're not necessarily going to see a ton of improvement. So
yeah, well, we live in a high-paced society too that rewards
instant gratification,
instant success, and stuff. So we've seen this own struggle with the Punch-Out Ultra being an 8-hour thing.
Yeah.
As soon as people hear the 8-hour part, they're like, that's a lot. It's not the 4 miles that scares people.
No,
it's the time. And we're like, well, you can quit whenever you want. You don't have to go the 8 hours. But people don't want to quit. I commend them for that. Nobody likes quitting. But 8 hours sounds like a really long time. They'd rather just not sign up. But that's because they've been trained and accustomed to doing things in short bursts that provide quick gratification.
Yep.
You don't have to run a 5K fast, but even if you run it slow, it's done in less than an hour.
Yeah.
Very slow, but very little time compared to an 8-hour long thing. You mean I got to do like 8 5Ks?
Yep.
Well, you don't have to, but that's where you'll build that patience and train your mind. You're rewiring your brain. You're doing something completely abnormal.
Yep.
And that's the part that we love.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but like take our Punch-Out Ultra, for instance. You could walk it and get 30 miles in 8 hours. Just about. I mean, it'd have to be a brisk walk, but you could
definitely walk a marathon in 8 hours.
100%.
100%.
Yeah. So like you show up, put your shoes on, and you move forward for 8 hours, you can say that you finished a marathon. How many people can say they even walked a marathon?
Yep.
Not very many.
And a trail marathon at that.
And a trail marathon with a slight, as much as Florida can offer, incline or elevation.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it's minimal. I don't know what our course is, but it's not a lot. I think it's less than 200 foot of gain and loss over the course of 4 miles. Ron's going to fact check me here, but
all right, I am. Keep talking.
Yeah. So like the biggest thing here, guys, is just to create habits and create consistent actions, and not just in one area of your life. So Nate needs to I'm using me as an example so that you guys can kind of start thinking, and I'm happy to share my vulnerabilities is consistent daily actions, and do them and just give yourself some grace. But at the end of the day, don't expect to be some specimen overnight, and that it takes time to get there.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
Our course has a whopping 236 foot of elevation gain.
That's pretty close.
So if you did it for a whole marathon, you would have to do 7 laps, which would put you over a marathon, actually.
Yeah.
Just because of the way the course is set up. So you would do 28 miles and get in 6,600 foot of elevation gain. Which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Pretty dang good.
Yeah, it is.
And that is 100% achievable in 8 hours.
Yeah.
I would say by a brisk walk, you would definitely do that.
Yeah. So, and on that note too, I mean, anything over a marathon is
an ultra. That's true.
If you finish that
7
many
laps.
Yep, 7 laps. It won't be a technical 50K, but if you do the 7, you're
It's
eligible
an ultra
for the coin.
Yep, you are an ultra marathoner.
So, but yeah, you can say you're an ultra runner, and then you can, the marathoners that, stop at 26.2, then.
Oh, on that note, you said you can say you're an ultra runner, and we were talking about walking, and I'm sure somebody's going to be like, well, you'd be an ultra walker. No, I heard this the other day that ultra running is like at least 30% walking.
Yeah.
If not significantly more.
Yeah.
Like 90% walking.
It's the duration.
So if you jog for like 100 yards, then you're an ultra runner.
Yeah.
Just walk the rest.
1,000%.
Jog through the finish. You've succeeded. Ultra run.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like been a little bit of a trend. And then another story.
We just totally diverged what we were talking about.
No, that's fine. That's okay. Our listeners are used to it by now. But I had another guy. He approached me. He's a cadet in our local fire recruit class, and he said, "I want to run a half marathon. How do I do it?" And I didn't tell him how. I just said, "Run a 5K every day for 7 days straight. I don't care how fast it is. Just cover 3.2 miles or whatever it is every day for 7 days." He's like, "Okay," and that was the end of the conversation. Contacts me on day 7. "Hey, I just finished it." I said, "How do you feel?" "I'm a little sore in my lower abdominal area, hip flexors, the typical areas that people hurt when they start running." I said, "Okay, do this week, and then let me know." And he's like, "Thanks for the help." And I said, "Buddy, you passed the test. I asked you to do something for 7 days straight, and you did it. So good on you. I'm happy to help people who are consistent." And because he did that, he did a consistent action, I'm more inclined to want to help him because there's potential there. Will I help somebody who's not? Yes, but I have to change the way that I help that person. So if he had not ran that, if he only ran like 2 days, now we have a bigger issue. He has demonstrated that he has the discipline and the commitment to achieve a goal, but he now has now he just has to hone in on what he needs to do to get there. Whereas if he ran 2 days a week, now we have a little bit of a different problem. And we now have to work on what does your day look like? Why aren't you getting out there? Is it because you don't want to? I said you could walk it. I don't care how long it takes you. Just move. So that's the biggest issue. So with that said, if you have the attribute of being consistent, you can do anything that you want to do.
Yep.
You can achieve whatever goal. It might take you longer to get there.
That old adage of how to eat an elephant.
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
1,000%.
But if you get tired of taking a bite and you just quit, well, it never gets eaten.
Yeah.
And the job never gets done.
Mm-hmm.
You have to stay consistent with it.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a lot,
mm-hmm.
but a little bit every day.
Yep. I mean, we're in January right now. How many resolutions do you think have been broken?
Oh, yeah. Last Friday, I think, January 10th, is Quitter's Day. So unofficial holiday called Quitter's Day because I don't remember the percentage.
Awesome.
A high percentage of people who create New Year's resolutions quit by January 10th.
I love that.
Yep.
However, you're only 10 days into the year. So you got 355 days. Well, that's not what today's date is, but on Quitter's Day, you got 355 days to pick yourself back up. So
it's true. That's where the grace aspect comes into this whole thing. And going back to the guy who was going to do that workout every day for 30 days. If he failed to do the run on one day, day 3, whatever, okay, that sucks, man. Punch yourself in the face real quick, and then day 4, get back at it, do it again.
Yeah.
You don't have to make up for that lost time. You don't have to beat yourself up any more than just a little kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Okay, that day's gone and over with. Let's start fresh.
Because there is, I mean, I'm guilty of it too. I think we all are guilty of it. You get this mental turmoil of like,
oh yeah,
oh man, I took a day off. Man, what am I going to do? Or like, oh, that workout wasn't hard enough.
Yeah.
Or like,
your little circle of rating, you rated yourself a 9. Well, you missed a day. Now you're like, oh, it's a 6 just because you missed one day.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not at all.
No.
Your fitness level hasn't changed in the slightest.
No, not at all. And I've even beaten myself up like when I'm like in a good groove and I'm hitting it really hard like all the time and it's like 2 a day every day. Well, I think that overabundance is what I want. The excessiveness all the time is just like eating too much of something.
Yeah.
Like,
well, you can overtrain.
You can overtrain. And I mean, we could nerd out on that. That's another episode with a guy. I want to have him on. His name's Grant. He is an absolute guru when it comes to fitness stuff and mindset. We're going to have him on the podcast at some point. But he was saying that you get more out of a 20-minute lift than you do like 2 hours at the gym. And there's a bunch of science and studies there of like, well, that directly ties into what we're talking about here. Yeah. He's saying like, pick 2 big lifts that you want to do no more than 10 reps for those 2 lifts, and then do a 15-minute accessory workout.
Consistent, focused effort.
Do it not every day, but do it like 3 days a week.
Yeah.
And then do your running on top of that.
I think I heard it from a Tony Robbins speech. Consistent, focused effort is what makes the difference.
Yep.
If you're inconsistent, it all falls apart.
Yep.
If it's not focused and you're spending 2 hours at the gym, you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
And if the effort's not there, then you can be consistent and focused, but if you're not putting in the effort, then you're just lifting 10-pound weights every time and nothing's going to grow. Nothing's going to change.
Yeah.
So consistent, focused effort.
Yeah. I mean, I'll even do, people think I'm weird because I am weird, but
agreed.
When we went to a different station to do some pump testing and I grabbed 30-pound dumbbells while we were talking and I held on to them and everybody looked at me like, what are you doing? I said, well, I'm just standing here. I might as well just hold something. And they're like, okay, how long are you going to go? I said, I don't know. I held on to those 30-pound dumbbells for 10 minutes. Now, that was 10 minutes of holding 30 pounds in each hand, so 60 pounds. It doesn't sound like a long time. You hold 30 pounds in your hands for 10 minutes. Your grip strength will show really quickly.
Yeah, for those of you that can't see Nate, his arms are stretched out all the way down to his knees because he holds weights in them. So
I lost 2 inches of height.
But your arms stretched.
But in that little thing, I was hearing excuses like, that's how you compress your spine, yada, yada, yada. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
Cool.
No.
Cool story, bro. Like, that was awesome excuses.
Lengthening the muscles in my arms.
It's okay. I'm working on grip strength. I'm working on, and sometimes I would like rock one to the side, one to the other. And then, I maybe do like an occasional curl, like for 10 minutes. It was 10 minutes. My forearms were shot. And that was one of my small workouts throughout the day. And I'm just standing there talking.
Yeah.
So do things that might be slightly inconvenient to make yourself better. I thought about putting 5 pounds of ankle weights on and wearing them for a full shift.
Maybe not to a call.
But like just around the station doing stuff, So like, something like that. And even like this last 48 I just got off of, I didn't do a ton, but I ran my 3 miles, like I said, every like I'm going to do a 5K. And then I did yoga.
Nice.
Right. So for those of you who hate on yoga,
I'm not making fun of you a single bit for that.
I think yoga is phenomenal. Doing static isometric holds.
I should do more yoga.
It's good flexibility. I did that in the morning. And then in the afternoon, I did like a 28-minute lift. And it was front squats, pistol squats, heel elevated goblet squats. And then I did a pull-up sequence. Oh, and overhead presses. It took me 25 minutes. My legs today feel like I worked them, but they're not crazy. And that's a workout. Now this week, I want to run 25 miles this week on a single run. But again, patience. Like, you have to slowly build the things. And so doing the small things, like if you take a day, like you're like, okay, I only got 20 minutes, get down on your face, do some push-ups, you did something, and then move on. Like, don't beat yourself up.
And the grace aspect of this is not just for like, oh, I forgot, or I didn't have time to do part of this, part of whatever I've set for myself, whatever expectation I set, I failed. You also have to have grace with yourself for injuries, things that happen, things that are going to happen that are out of your control. I mean, I'm dealing with an injury right now, and much as I want to get out there and run through the pain, I have had a lot of people kindly remind me to not do that because it's going to hurt the long-term goal. So they're not saying sit on the couch and do nothing. They're saying
so
quite the opposite. Yeah, they're saying do something different that doesn't hurt. If it hurts, stop doing that. Do something different. So I'm not running as much, hardly at all. It's killing me. No. But I can walk. That doesn't hurt. I can cycle. I can use the rowing machine. I can lift the weights. Like, there's a lot of things that I can do. Certain exercises still hurt, so I'm not pushing it. When it hurts, I do a different exercise. And it's very, very hard for me to do. But the point is that you can still be consistent and just modify whatever the expectation was that you had for yourself because of unforeseen circumstances.
No, that's stellar. Yeah, absolutely. And like, just give yourself some grace. Every time has a season. And if you can't, like we said it before, crawl, walk, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. And just start there and just move forward and do the things. I put a reel up recently about what's the hardest part of my morning. Like when I go run, it's not getting out of bed because I've got that down. Sometimes I'll hit snooze, but it's not getting out of bed. It's not getting out the door. It's putting my stinking shoes on. Because I know once I put my shoes on, I've just made a commitment. Like, I'm all the way out here now. And that's why sometimes I like to drive somewhere to run. Because if I drive somewhere to run, I'm like, I just got up early. It's like 3:30 and I'm at the trailhead. And I've already eaten breakfast and I'm awake. I'm not going back and going to bed now. Now all I got to do is put my shoes on. Well, it's easier for me to sit in my truck and like take a nap. But instead, I'm like, no, if I get my stinking shoes on, I'll run.
I got to go.
So it's just creating those pathways in your head to just do the thing. And again,
you got to find what works for you. You gotta give yourself little wins. If you have to bribe yourself, maybe start there. I wouldn't keep that going for too long because that's reinforcing bad habits of instant gratification. But if you got to tell yourself like, hey, I'm going to go for a run and then I'm going to treat myself to a coffee out this morning. Okay, go do it. Go do it. And then after you succeed that one time, then you'll be like, all right, I'm going to go for a run 3 times next week. And at the end of that, if I do all 3 that I said, I'm going to treat myself again. Like, whatever. If that's what it takes you, then that's what it takes you. Get started and then keep raising the bar. Don't settle for where you're at. Keep raising that bar. And then, eventually maybe it's I'm going to work out every single day in a week and then reward myself. Then you get to the end of the week and you're like, I don't need that. The workout was enough. And you finally figured it out that doing what you said you were going to do is enough. You don't need a reward beyond that. That's pretty awesome when you can look at yourself in the mirror and go, yeah, I told that guy I was going to do something and I did it.
And you did it. Yeah. But then it doesn't stop there. So then you're like, I did it.
What's next?
Celebrate. And then let's move on to the next thing. And
how do we keep growing?
Yeah. And so kind of bring it back full circle as we kind of wrap up this podcast. episode today is we've talked about, and remind me to come back to this, about correlating that to other people's, like, or not other people's, but our walk, like so like good with physical. Now, how do we relate that to other things, right?
I was just going to bring that up, that
Okay.
like this, we've all talked about, or all we've talked about is physical stuff, but
Yeah.
this literally applies to anything.
I also this came to my head, and I meant to say this earlier, but I'll say it now, is it's really hard. I'm finding in this podcast platform, Suffer Up, like some of the guys, like, oh, you didn't suffer up today. I love it because I love it and I hate it because some guys are like, will call me out. I'm creating an accountability system for myself almost.
Yep.
Because we're not trying to put ourselves on a podium or on a stage, but it naturally happens because people are looking at like what we're doing and they're like, oh, Nate didn't run. Like if I come into work and I didn't run, like, oh, no run today. Like, yeah, man, I got in from a flight at like 3 a.m. and I made it to work today. I'll run later.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. I decided to sleep the extra 2 hours because I didn't
The only 2 hours I had.
The only 2 hours I had to get up and get to work on time. But how many people would have sicked out on that day?
Yeah.
I didn't sick out. So go ahead and talk the trash, man. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be out there in the gym working later today after I get us a little power nap and, a 20-minute cat nap real quick and then get back to work. Like, that's grace.
Yep.
But there's also a level of, like, we are not trying to put ourselves on a pedestal by any means, but it's naturally happening because we're putting ourselves out there. But we're also trying to set an example and help people understand these concepts so that they can be successful.
Yeah.
But we fail all the time, guys. So it's not necessarily like, oh yeah, Nate's just on another rant or Ryan's on another rant.
No, I had high hopes of working out every day that I was out of town for Christmas, and I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. I did go to the gym multiple times, though. I did get in multiple runs. So I'm counting my wins, but also licking my wounds of like, I did not do what I was going to do.
Right.
I can make excuses and say, this is why, but I can also just acknowledge it and move on and say, all right, moving forward, this is what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Can't change that. So let's change the future.
I just want to put that out there because it's been like, oh, did you suffer up today? Like,
yeah.
Did you? What did you do today?
Yeah.
Well, so that's what I thought.
Some people will only ask you that on the days that they did something.
Yeah.
Like,
I went for a walk.
What about yesterday?
Yeah. Not every day has to be some crazy.
And it's not a competition, guys.
No, it's not.
You're competing with yourself. So it is good to hold each other accountable, but also recognize that I don't have to answer to you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to answer to me.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
I'm finding it energy because if I have like a slightly like frustrated response to something, I'll have guys in my crew that'll say, oh, you need to suffer up, Nate. I'm like, thank you. Like, all I can say is like, you're right. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's literally becoming the best accountability thing. And by them saying that, they don't know that they're doing it, but they're literally fueling me because
fire me up.
Yep. No, you're absolutely right. I'll give it to you. Go ahead. You can get your dig. But what are you doing now?
But when I throw it back at you,
you better buckle up.
Be ready. Yeah.
So, but no, it's been blessing and we're super thankful for this. But to bring it back full circle.
Yep. It's not all about fitness.
It's not all about fitness.
You were talking about being a better dad.
Yeah.
How would you apply this to fatherhood?
Consistent actions with my kids. So what does that look like? It means doing every night, we're doing a book reading, doing the prayer time with them every single night, regardless of the circumstances. Those would be like 2 non-negotiables. We're going to honor God at the end of the day, as well as at the beginning of the day, because we pretty much have breakfast every day I'm home. We have breakfast together as a family. And if you don't do that, I'd encourage you to try to fit that in your day. I know work schedules don't always work out that way, but breakfast every morning, and then book reading and prayer time every night. Those are 3 things that I could do every single day that'd be consistent to my kids. Life happens and things get busy, but at the end of the day, those are things that I could do every day. And those pouring into our kids and the next generation is huge. And that would be a huge benefit to them. That's just one example, but
yeah, I like that. I think it's different for everybody, and you need to set your own goals / expectations for whatever it is, but recognize that everything we were talking about, we were using fitness as an example, but all of the same principles apply to any aspect of life, whether it be work or personal stuff.
Yeah.
So if you miss a day, you miss a day, like you were saying, like saying prayers with your kids. If you drive home late from dinner or someplace and your kid falls asleep and you put them to bed and you're like, oh man, we didn't say our prayers with them tonight. Okay. It's not the end of the world. You don't need to wake your kid up to say the prayers.
Yeah.
Like, just let them sleep and do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like, get back on the horse tomorrow. It will be okay. They're going to remember 300 days out of the year over 65 days.
Yeah.
So
But you know what else is a positive there? I just thought of this.
What's
is if you say you don't have the prayer time with them and they're expecting it,
Mm.
but then the next morning you come to them and say, hey baby, listen, I'm so sorry. Daddy came home late from work. I'm sorry that I missed prayer time with you. Can I take a second to pray with you now? They're now seeing that you're accepting fault.
Yeah.
You're owning your actions.
Yep.
And then you're following through with what you said.
Yeah.
And so you're almost coaching a new concept into them by illustrating that instead of just ignoring, like, oh, I'll get it tomorrow.
Yeah. I think it's good to acknowledge it either
Yeah.
way. Like, even if they did fall asleep, like the next night when you go to pray, like, hey, remember guys, we didn't say prayers last night because you fell asleep and we didn't want to wake you. Like, this was my thought process behind it, or this is the reasons that it didn't happen, but we're doing it again tonight.
That's it.
We're getting back on the horse.
Yep.
And gonna do it like normal.
Keep going.
Yeah.
Your kids need to see not only your successes, but also your failures.
Absolutely. Agreed.
And how you respond to the failures and your mistakes is paramount. Like, you have to show them that, because they're going to make mistakes. Like, create an environment where your kids can make mistakes so that you can also help them with those mistakes. And you are also showing ownership, because when my daughter gets to be 16, 17 years old, I want her to feel comfortable telling me, like, hey, daddy, I messed up.
Yeah.
She won't be saying daddy probably then. She'll probably say, dad, hey, dad, I messed up. I need some help. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
I want her to feel like she can come to me with those things. But if I don't start that now, then those are just consistent daily actions in this context. So that would bring me from a 6 or 7 to a 9.
Yeah.
I would think.
I mean, at least
it'd feel that way anyway.
Yeah.
So
you're making those actions, and what more can you do?
you're right. So I'm gonna make it a priority in my low areas to be better in those areas, not just physical. And I'll even compromise a little bit on the physical so that I can be better at this. So maybe I'll bump my physical down to an 8 so that I can be an 8 here. So like maybe there's some give and take.
Some balance.
It's a balance.
Yeah.
If I'm an 8 all the way around the wheel, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Versus being a 9 in 3 areas and a 6 in others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think this wheel concept is like really good. And I didn't think I would enjoy coaching like I am. I'm excited about today's session. Like what's going to come from it.
That's cool. Yeah. I think everybody needs to be coached from time to time. Just like I would say, everybody needs therapy from time to time in their life.
Yeah.
We all go through things and need help with them
Mhm.
occasionally. And coaching is no different. Sometimes you can't see the forest through the trees.
Right.
And it takes an outside source asking you questions, getting thoughts moving in your mind for you to go, oh man, like this is better than I thought it was. Or, maybe I've got more stuff figured out than I thought I did. I feel like I'm at a standstill, but maybe I'm not. I am making progress. And,
Right.
It's just helpful to get an outside opinion.
Yep, it is. So, consistency is key. Be disciplined in all that you do in all areas of life. Don't just be good at one thing. So, I'm reminded oftentimes of the Instagram influencer model. These people might be specimens in the gym, and just remember that what you see on the internet is not real all the time. There's filters now and AI and all this stuff. So don't compare yourself to the social media.
Yeah, not even that. I mean, if it is real, you're not seeing the years of work behind what you're looking at for 30 seconds.
But again, I would rather be an 8 all the way around the wheel than I would be a 10 at physical fitness and a 2 at home. So just remember that, guys. And really, at the end of the day, our standing measure, our guiding force is what the Bible says and what God has laid out for us. So prioritize the things that matter, and have fun through this process and bring other people along with you. And that's what we're trying to do here at Suffer Up as well. So,
yep.
Do we have anything else?
No. Check out Sophron Consulting if you want to get some coaching yourself, or check out Tab, the alternative board.
Yep.
That's who I use for my form of coaching.
Yeah.
I'm a little more on the business heavy side of it.
Sure.
But we also talk about plenty of personal stuff in there. It's just
Yeah.
geared more towards, or marketed more towards business.
Yeah.
So check out those two resources. And check out our Punch Out Ultra. We got team option on there. The team option is what that's what inspired us to create this race.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is that we're lifting each other up and bringing somebody new along, so that they can grow with us and we can encourage them along the way. So all of this ties in together really, really nicely, that we want to be consistent and we want to help others be consistent as well.
That's it. Thanks again, guys, for listening to another episode of the Suffer Up Podcast with Nate and Ryan. Go to the description of this podcast, click on our link tree. You'll find all the things that are happening here, sponsors, affiliates, people who have helped us along the way, and we hope that they can also be a help to you. Again, thank you to our sponsors. Go back to the beginning. We give a nice long intro for that. You can follow along with us. We love y'all. Y'all take care, and as always,
Suffer up.